What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Two Pitbulls, where I do dog educational videos. Today's topic is going to be, what are Merle Pitbulls? Merle is a genetic trait that leads to splotches of darker color on patches of lighter color, ticking, and the development of blue eyes. Genetically, it acts as a diluter, so it will typically dilute the primary color or pattern of an animal. When white is a primary color, a Merle will typically present itself with heavy ticking. While it is known to be genetically related, it has eluded scientists about its ability to pin down specifically. It was originally thought to be a specific gene, but this has since been rethought, as it now appears that it may actually be a combination of genes acting together, and thus the reason for eluding specific detection. This also explains why the previous theory of it being dominant and unable to hide or skip generations has now proven to be false, since several examples of generation skipping have been recorded. Moving on to the history of the Merle American Pit Bull Terrier. While some people like to try and downplay the existence of Merle in the purebred pit bull's history, this is futile and sincere and selfish, as it has been historically documented since the inception of the breed's first official recognition as a breed. Many prolific and well-known dog men in the history of the American Pit Bull, including John Colby himself, kept and bred Merle Pit Bulls. This, there was many of those who today try and debunk this historical evidence of having Merle Pit Bulls even back then when Colby bred them. It just shows that back then they were seen as bad. Coming out that color was bad and just unworthy of owning, and so forth and so on. So yeah, however, it is interesting that when Merle is brought up, that the naysayers will ask that photographic evidence be provided, because people claim to have never seen a Merle Pit Bull. And it is rare. It's rare. I'll say it. It's rare, but I've seen one in my lifetime so far. When such evidence is, however, provided, they then will backtrack and make excuses that the obvious Merle pattern is caused by things like shadows from trees, or will say that it can not be relied on because the photograph is black and white, as if any pictures from nearly 100 years ago were anything but black and white. These desperate attempts show the insincere and selfish motives of such individuals. It is obvious that those who are biased against purebred Merle Pit Bulls will say anything to deny what it is historically proven. 14 years after the picture of Goldie, which Goldie is a dog owned by Louis Colby, who bred Pit Bulls at the time in the early 1800s, was taken. The first written standard commissioned by a registry on the breed was officialized, with clearly stated in relation to color and pattern that any color, solid, party, or patch is permissible, and that the next written standard by any registry clearly stated any color or making is permissible. It is amusing to think by some people's accounts that these registries did not understand what they were saying when they said any. It also is amusing that these same individuals are the most ardent supporters and brand loyalists of those same registries today. So there was a lot of controversy, purity controversy. So why do some registries no longer recognize the Merle Pit Bull after nearly 7 decades of accepting it? The answer is quite simple. That is, it is on the shoulders of a few power players within those registries, and the industry itself have held sway over these registries due to their own personal bias and motives. So it's just, they're biased about it. As previously mentioned, health claims have been made against the Merle Pit Bull that have yet to be proven true. All such claims that have been made, however, do show that some exact effects, as inbreeding claims of diminished hearing, blindness, skin disorders, and a myriad of other false accusations, have never been scientifically proven to be specifically linked to the Merle trait. he claims are merely conjecture, opinion, and in many cases intentional misrepresentation in order to use the Merle as an scapegoat for what seems to be the obvious culprit for such conditions. So yeah, a lot of people are controversial about it. They say a Merle Pitbull doesn't exist, but it in fact does exist out there, and I will be linking you guys to maybe videos and even links to where you can find more pictures on the Merle Pitbulls, because they're a beautiful color. I love to own a Merle Pitbull. Super rare. In my case, they're very rare. They come in a variety of colors, and I think you guys will like them. They literally look like an Oreo dog almost. You guys will see pictures to them, and I'll put a lot of pictures of them on the thumbnail. And yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my next and last video of the day, and peace until then.